Filmmakers don't always need more light. They need better light. Let me show you. This is a review of the PavoSlim 120C from Nanlite, but I don't just want to sit and talk about it. I want to show you examples of how it can be used, and I want to start with how I lit those two scenes in the intro there. They're both a good use case example of the PavoSlim, but with the first being lit completely by artificial lights, and the second being a sunlit scene using the light for filling out some shadows. I think they display some, though definitely not all, of the versatility of the PavoSlim 120C. To set up this relatively simple scene, I started with one practical warm light. Then I set up the PavoSlim 120C from Nanlite as a side or rim light. I attached a grid that comes with the light to control the spill. And to get rid of the bounce on the left side of my face, I actually hung up a dark towel. Then I mounted a cheap white shower curtain onto a boom and used it as a large diffusion to wrap some light around my face. I used the Nanlite wand to bounce light off the curtain. One thing to note is that my house is full of white walls, so the bounce light is pretty extreme. To control for this, I used an ND filter and pushed it way down, but that also means that the lighting I'm using has to produce more light to have more output. And that's the cool thing about the PavoSlim, that it's actually 150 watts, so it actually has some juice in there. But this is also a very small basement. It's a very tight space. The ceiling is not high at all. So the benefit of having the PavoSlim, which is so small and lightweight and can cram into tight spaces, really helpful. To be upfront, this video is sponsored by Nanlite, but I want to be clear about how that happened. I'm currently in pre-production of a short film called Signa, and I actually reached out to Nanlite and asked if they would be willing to come on board as a sponsor of the film, and I was lucky that they said yes. I've worked with Nanlite before. I reviewed their Pico and wand lights, and they're incredibly versatile lights, and I will use them on the Signa production. For this film, I needed something a little bit more powerful, yet still portable, still light, easy to set up. And they suggested the PavoSlim 120C. I didn't know about that light before they suggested it to me, and that's how the PavoSlim ended up in my hands. For this next scene, I wanted to see how well it could perform when the sun was lighting my back, and I intentionally wanted to include a wide shot here where I was forced to have the PavoSlim further back, just to see how well it would compete with the sun at that distance. I'm also shooting the light through a large diffusion sheet to get as large a source as possible. I'm using the Nanlite app to turn it off and on, which, by the way, that app works really well with the lights, and I can set up the wand, the Pico, and the PavoSlim in one scene together and control them all in one app. I don't have to physically move over to adjust them one by one. To some people that might be old news, to me it's not. It's great, I like it. Anyway, as you can see, the scene is very dark without the light, and the PavoSlim is actually doing a good job of filling out the dark spaces in this scene. Of course, maybe a Forza 720B would probably be the optimal choice here, but in a pinch, this could definitely work, for me at least. Moving closer in with the camera, I could get some better output, as I was able to put the light and diffusion even closer to me. And just to note, for these wider shots, I was shooting with an f-stop at around f11, and what was really impressive with the last close-up shot was that I really wanted a larger aperture to get a blurry background. So I set it to f2.8 and added an ND filter to expose the sunlight from the window better, and that naturally means that I need way more output from the artificial light I'm using to fill out my face. And yes, the PavoSlim was at 100% brightness here, but I think it did an excellent job of filling out the shadows and making the scene actually work and look good. So for all the people who love unboxing videos, the light ships in this case. It's not exactly a hard case, but it is sturdy enough. It's incredibly handy, and the fact that the unit itself is very slim means that there's room for other stuff in the bag. And as a one-man band, that matters a lot to me. This quick release clamp is sturdy, and it just simply clicks onto the back of the light. You've got the DC connection cable running into the control unit. The control unit itself is straightforward. 2 knobs, a small screen, nothing intimidating. So for the light itself, the first thing you notice, it's actually really slim. The name isn't a marketing gimmick, and it's light. 1.76 kilograms for a 150 watt panel. That's impressive. The softbox attaches with Velcro, takes about 10 seconds to whip it out or lock it back in place, and the softbox is also detachable. The clamp locks onto the back really easy, and it holds. No wobble, no fuss. I use a cheap V-mount battery from AliExpress. I pop it in there and click the power button. 3 seconds later, the light is on. This is a 50% output, and that's already a lot of light. The portability of this makes this light so attractive to me. For those wondering how long the power will last on a 229 watt-hour battery, I did a completely unscientific test with this. With the battery starting at 63%, I know that's random, but that's what it was when I started it. It lasted a solid half hour at 100% brightness before the light cut out. As I understand, that's the light protecting itself, not the battery dying, so I think a full charge should get you around 45 to 50 minutes at 100%. But I mean, that's really bright. So if you dial it back to 50 or 70%, it'll last significantly longer. Another cool thing about this light is that it's not just bicolor, it's also RGB, meaning that you can dial it anywhere from a warm 2700K to a cool 7500K and then go into full color mode. And then there's something called gel mode. There's like 151 inbuilt gels. So if you want to replicate a specific type of lighting, you can do that without adding a gel to your light. What all that means in practice is that one light can feel completely different depending on what you need. Like warm and intense. This was very warm and intense. Or let's say something cool, cold and clinical. This probably looks bad, but anyway, maybe something greenish, like a green weird tint. Let's say soft green. Ugh. I mean, I feel like I'm repeating myself here, but for narrative filmmaking, that's really useful. I mean, it's not just a technical feature, it's tools for you as a storyteller. And as I said earlier, I'm using this on my next short film, and most of that film is taking place outside. So the challenge there is that I'll need it to do many things. Some places, like for instance the example I showed here, you just need to fill out some shadows or shadowy areas. Maybe everything else is lit well. Outdoors, everything is lit well. Like this scene, for example. So if this light wasn't there, I would be in the shadows right now. So those are the kind of situations I might need it. Or maybe just light up some details here and there, some rim light. Or maybe I'll need it to add some backlight to separate something from the background. And after testing this for a while now, I know that it'll be a really good tool to have on set. Lastly, I want to talk about price. The cheapest listing here in Norway I could find, I think it's on sale now, is $770. That's a good price, I think. Mostly, I think when it's not on sale, it's around $850 to $900. So under $1,000. And I know you can find a lot more powerful lights for cheaper, but there's always a trade-off, right? So is it going to be this light and portable? I have it on a boom arm now. I'm using a counterweight. I don't need to use the counterweight. It's a little scary without it, but I don't really need to use it. And the fact that it is really sturdy, even though it's lightweight, it really is a good selling point. Is it going to be bicolor? Is it going to be RGB as well? The versatility of this light is really what sells it. I mean, you can place this in a really cramped room, tight locations. For instance, just think about a large softbox. I mean, it's huge, it's bulging out, and then there's the COB, which is on the back of that again. So it's just for the ease of use, for the portability, for the everything that you might need on big scale productions or small scale productions, I think. So for me, the test is simple. Does it give me more options to tell the story that I want to tell? And the answer to that is a resounding yes. So to wrap it up, I'm going to shoot a follow-up video with this light and my experiences in using it on my short film. And I'll show you a little bit of the lighting setups there. And if you want to see that, make sure that you subscribe so you get notified. And yeah, see you guys later.